What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Beer Battered Sports Podcast, the podcast created by sports fans for sports fans, because we believe that we are the most qualified people to talk about our favorite sports. I'm your co-host, Isaac.
And I'm Kylie.
And unfortunately, we are without Calvin today as he is currently out at work. But don't worry, we're still going to have a great show regardless. And Calvin will be sending in his picks for his NFL week picks. At least we hope he does. Calvin, if you're watching, I did your picks already. But anyway, welcome to episode 46, and we have got an exciting episode for you guys today. Lots of stuff to talk about, and we're going to start where we normally don't start. We're going to be talking about baseball to start things off because things have been happening.
They have been happening, and they've been happening fast over the last, 24 hours? Starting off with the biggest one. Isaac, this will make you happy. Aaron Judge, this morning, decided to stay with the Yankees on a 9-year...
I'm gonna mute myself real quick so I can celebrate. You explain the deal while I mute myself.
Okay. On a 9-year, $360 million deal. And if you're watching live, yeah, that's Isaac is losing his mind. All right.
Yes, so I'm very happy that Aaron Judge is coming back. He's back, baby. 9 years. How much money again?
360 million.
360 million. Hell yeah.
He gets an extra year and $145 million more than he would have if he signed in this offseason, before the season started.
And I would just like to present Goober of the Week award to the journalist who jumped the gun and said he was going to the Giants.
Yep.
Fuck you. He's staying in New York, bitches.
Yeah.
We
absolutely.
really need to build up a structure around him so we can actually contend for a World Series. But he's back, baby. We got him locked down.
The most recent signing literally just happened, officially. Wilson Contreras and the St. Louis Cardinals are in an agreement on a 5-year, $87.5 million deal.
Cool.
That's official, literally just now.
Nice. What are some of the other? What's the one that you were really excited about? Something like, so you were talking about, you manifested something to happen.
I manifested. I bullied. I was.
She got put on. Go ahead.
I got put on Bleacher Report for it. Shout out Bleacher Report. Sponsor us.
That was cool. That was
Sponsor
really cool.
us.
Yeah,
Right?
Bleacher Report. We'd love to have you on.
Yeah.
Bring back Game of Zones. Bring back Game of Zones. If they can write extra seasons without material, you can do the same thing.
But the Phillies signed Trey Turner. 11 years and $300 million.
That's awesome.
That is two $300 million position players on the Phillies.
You guys better get some results out of this.
That's what I'm saying. We also signed Taijuan Walker from the Mets, so shout out Mets.
Speaking of the Mets, they've had an interesting couple of days. They lost.
It was a roller coaster.
Because earlier this week they lost Jacob deGrom to the Rangers. Why would you go to Texas? Why? Why would you go to Texas?
The Rangers bought a lot of people the last 2 years, and they're
they're
still
gonna
not going to be good. Especially
they're
like
gonna
DeGrom is not healthy.
they're gonna sit and do nothing. That's what's gonna happen. It's a
Yeah.
dumb decision.
If Jacob DeGrom is healthy, he is literally like the best pitcher in the world.
Yeah, but we rarely get to see that because he gets hurt all the time.
Right.
I don't think Mets fans are really complaining about that because they got Verlander,
They did get Verlander.
which
They were upset at first, and then they got Verlander.
what the hell? That's just the rich get richer. And again, like I said before, they're gonna sit on it and do nothing with it. Same thing with the Rangers because it's the Mets. They can't have nice things. Oh,
The
you
Mets,
got this
baby, we're
shiny.
talking about the Mets.
You got this shiny Justin Verlander. Guess what? Another wild card exit.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's pretty much what's guaranteed to happen. It's what happened in the last season. You know, I don't know. I'm just glad that something's actually happening in the baseball offseason that we can talk about baseball again. I know some of the other viewers out there only follow us for our baseball content because it was all we would talk about during the summer. For you guys,
It's
you're
back.
welcome. Yeah, we can finally start talking about stuff
Finally.
because of winter. I got a DM from one of my friends who follows the show who was like, "Are you guys going to talk about winter meetings soon?" It's like,
Absolutely.
we would love to talk about winter meetings if they happen, and they finally did happen, and we are so thankful. I just want to say, waking up to a text from you, Kylie, that said, "Congratulations, buddy." For a second, I was like, "What happened? What happened? Did I get promoted at work? Did I get fired? What happened?" Then
Yeah,
I
I
checked
fired
Twitter.
you.
Yeah, I checked Twitter and saw, "Oh, Judge got re-signed. Oh, nice. Judge got re-signed. Judge got re-signed." And just started
There you
freaking
go.
out.
Yeah.
That's all I care
Um,
about. I don't care about the other. I don't care about the other news. I don't care that the Pirates won the draft lottery. I don't
They
care
did
that
win the draft lottery. They had the first overall pick.
I don't
They
care about the
chose
new.
the Nationals.
That's funny. The Nats. Nats tanked for no reason. I don't care that the Orioles manager got manager of the year or something, or something like that. He got some award. It was a
Yeah.
nice one. I don't care that the MLB is going to use balls with different weights for the 2020 for wait did they for 2023 right?
No, this season they got caught
Oh
using 3
shit!
different weighted balls.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
thought that was for
okay.
next
News
year.
pretty much just broke. No, they need to stop messing with the freaking baseballs.
It's almost as if they're their own worst enemy.
Seriously. Running down some more free agent signings. Zach Eflin, Phillies pitcher, just signed with the Tampa Bay Rays. 3 years, $40
Good
million.
pickup.
It's the biggest contract in Rays history. Says a
Good.
lot about the franchise.
Hey, the Rays are a well-run organization. You cannot deny that. They have been in playoff contention pretty much nonstop
I know,
for years.
but they still don't have any rings.
You don't need the rings.
Yeah, you do. The Mariners and the Brewers.
Wait, what am I saying?
This.
Of course, you need the rings. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Wow.
The Mariners and the Brewers traded Jesse Winker and Abraham Toro are on the Brewers, and the the Brewers got Colton Wong.
All right.
Or the Mariners got Colton Wong. So that's not a bad trade.
Fun stuff.
The DeGrom signing is crazy. Kyle Gibson signed with the Orioles. That's a good signing for them. A lot of Philly fans aren't a fan of Gibby, and for a valid reason, he kind of sold in the end. But he was, for his limited postseason appearance, he was good, and I actually liked Gibby. We got him in a trade from the Rangers for Spencer Howard, and I actually liked Gibby. I hope he does well. It sucks that his Phillies tenure ended on a bad note, but I appreciate what he did for us.
Yeah.
And we talked about the Verlander deal, 2 years, $86 million. Wild.
I still don't think it's gonna go anywhere, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's just for 2 years, right?
Yeah. 2 years.
Yeah, so he's just gonna retire a Met. Well,
Yeah.
good for him. Good for him. And for all of baseball, good that Aaron Judge is back in New York. Seriously though, can we just talk about this really quick? the journalists who were so convinced that he was going to the Giants that they jumped the gun. Like,
Yeah.
guys, this isn't like a midterm election. Don't jump the gun.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Wait till you get a
Exactly.
source confirmed. I don't understand why this mistake keeps getting made by modern journalists. As somebody who majored in journalism out of college, I do not understand how many journalists get it wrong. Are you so desperate? You shouldn't be desperate to be the first to report it. You should be desperate to get the information right. It just
Agreed.
really pisses me off. We've had I mean, Kylie, we've complained about this about the media in the past on this show a lot. And
All
in
the
a
time.
way, I want to make it clear. We when we complain about the media, we're complaining about the bad actors. We're not complaining about it as a whole. Because without sports
Right.
media, we wouldn't have careers. Especially, I especially wouldn't have a career because I actually work in sports media, and you know, we wouldn't be able to get to see games all the time. We'd actually have to physically go to games, and we're poor. We don't make that kind of money. Well, some of us don't. Mrs. went to a Lakers game this weekend. We'll talk about it in a second. I want to know all about it. She got to go to a Lakers game. Some of us can't afford tickets, Kylie.
Hey, I won money on sports betting. That paid for it.
God, this is all part of an elaborate scheme to get me to start betting. I know it. But anyway, when we call out sports media, we're calling out the biggest issue with sports media that we call out, and I feel like I've said this on the podcast before. We're calling out the issue of everybody trying to be the first to report it, to get that notoriety of, oh, so and so broke the story. But at the end
Yeah.
of the day, if you can't get your facts right, you lose
Then
all
don't
of your
tweet it.
credibility.
Absolutely.
Excuse me.
And now John Hyman, the one who tweeted that, now he is, everything he tweets, if it's breaking, like if it's actually true, everybody's gonna be like messing with him, making jokes, and it's just like, why do you want that?
Yeah. By the way, if anyone notices, my camera is about to go off for a second. Just bear with me. I gotta do one thing. I'm gonna stay online, but I gotta turn my camera off for a second.
You're so weird.
Hey, look, I'm sorry. When nature is calling, but I want to keep the podcast going because I don't want it. Okay, it would be weird of me to to bring the camera into the restroom with me, but the podcast must go on, so I'm keeping the mic going. Kylie, what's our next topic?
Why is it every time?
It's not every time. It's only happened once
every
before.
time Calvin is not on. Something with you happens every time.
Not true. That one time he was on, I had food poisoning. We had to do this too, and that was hilarious. For anybody who's listening to this over the line, I have the worst timing ever. Just ignore me. It's just ignore me. Let's continue the show. However, the show must go on, even if Isaac's IBS acts up in the middle of recording.
Oh my god. Okay. So, all right. So just more free agents because Isaac, you were so weird. Jesus. Vince Velasquez is going to the Pirates. He also pitched for the Phillies. No pressure for him to do anything there, so he might do something.
How did you like him when he was in Philly?
He was awful.
Okay, so
I was not a fan.
You don't have a problem with this.
Yeah, no, I was not a fan.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah. Josh Bell to the Guardians on a 2-year contract.
Ooh.
It has a 1 year. He has an opt out after year 1, so I guarantee you he's going to be leaving after the first year.
I don't think so. The Guardians are a young and fun team. Like
they're young and fun, and right, and he is exactly what they need. He's a power bat. He's a first baseman.
Yeah.
It's a great signing for them.
Where's he coming from again?
He was on the Pirates, got traded to the Nationals, and then got traded to the Padres in the
right.
Soto deal.
Right, he was.
Yeah.
Right. That's good. I hope the Guardians show a lot of people up. I know they got a lot of flack this last season, not just because of the name change, which, let's be clear, if you're complaining about the name change with the Guardians at this point, come on. Just stop. It's over. They're not going back, whatever. But the Guardians...
I actually like the name Guardians.
I do too. It's a cool name. The concept behind the name is kind of stupid because they're named after the Guardians of Traffic on a bridge, which, okay, that's dumb. But it's a cool name regardless. Did
I
you not
did
know
not.
that?
No, I had no idea. What
So
the
the bridge
hell?
across from Progressive Field in Cleveland has 4 statues on it, which and I learned this through some guy who actually lives in Ohio and does TikToks about Cleveland. This guy on TikTok was like, "Yeah, so we have these 4 statues that are called the 4 guardians of transportation. Like one represents traffic, the other represents the railways, one represents air travel, one represents the river, and or Lake Erie, whatever poisoned lake runs past Cleveland. It is poisoned. I was at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame back in like 2019, and there are dead fish on the pier outside. It was gross, but beautiful city. Just it has a bad rep. Anyway, I'm getting beyond myself. The
Okay.
Yeah,
After thinking like that's not bad. I guess it.
it's not a bad name. It's just when you think about the context behind why they have the name, it's like, oh, it's kind of it's kind of Ohio-y.
It is Ohio-y.
It's very Ohio for them to do that. It's
Yeah,
still
it's
a good
fine.
name though. It's still a
Yeah,
good name.
yeah. I like it. My issue with when they changed the name was when they changed the logo to a different font C.
Oh yeah, as if that's not gonna yeah, like as if that's gonna change things.
And the reason that irritated me was because that was such a clear money grab. But that it didn't irritate me that much at
Look,
all. I
we
like Cleveland.
we all know the reason why teams are changing their names isn't because they're doing it because of social causes, which is the reason they should be doing it. It's because of
It's
money.
money. Yeah.
Yeah. If a team changes their name, if a team changes their name for an actual social cause, you'll know, but we don't see
Yeah,
that.
you'll know, but clear example is it's all money, which whatever. I mean,
Defender of the North says
whatever.
who made money? The teams did. The organization did from merch sales.
Yeah, from changing their names.
And
Like
also
Washington changed their name twice.
they had to do that because the sponsors are threatening to pull out, which
Yeah.
again, it's all money. Like no one's changing. I'm in favor of teams changing their name if it's like outdated or in some cases like it was with the Redskins, an actual racial slur. But at the end of the day, if you have to change it for that purpose because most of these teams who have changed their names have made it so obvious that they're doing it just so they keep their sponsors around. And it's like that's scummy. Like, come on. But anyways,
Yeah.
we're getting off target. Let's anything else from
Yeah.
baseball we want to discuss?
So Andrew Haney is going to the Rangers as well. They're loading up, but they're still not going to do anything.
Yeah.
Cody
No.
Bellinger to the Cubs. I did not see that one coming.
Well, the Cubs. I mean, the Cubs were expected to do well last year, and they crashed and burned. So I think this is them like stepping back and be like, okay, we have some pieces here. Let's actually build around them.
Yeah.
Get Seiya Suzuki to actually start playing well.
Yeah.
That was just disappointing.
Mitch Haniger is going to the Giants on a 3-year, $43.5 million deal.
Nice.
That didn't take them out of the Judge running, obviously.
No, they're loaded.
But
They
the
can do whatever
Judge
they
running
want.
was apparently between Padres, Yankees, and the Giants. The Padres offered Judge more money, but he still chose the Yankees.
That's because he know where he from. That's because he's all about that Bronx pride, baby.
Trey Turner chose Philly over the Padres too.
Look,
Nobody wants to go to San Diego, apparently.
nobody wants to go and play. No one wants to go and play in California, bro.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
We talked about the Taiwan Walker deal. The Phillies also got Matt Strom, so that is I'm okay with that.
With all these
Um,
like off-season changes, Kylie, is this giving you more confidence for the Phillies possibly repeating as NL champions next year?
I don't know because the NL is loaded, especially the NL East.
Yeah.
Uh, the Mets and Braves, the Mets are postseason chokers, and because I said that they're going to win the World Series this year, but the Mets are historically postseason and late season chokers. But they do have their beginning of the season runs get them high enough to where they're fine. So, and the Braves are the Braves. The Braves are always going to be good. And then there's us who, you know, we have Trey Turner, we have players. It's just the NL is just so tough.
It's gonna be tough for you guys.
Yeah. I think we'll be in the running for sure, but I'm not gonna bank on it. I'm just gonna enjoy the season for what it will be.
I kind of
'Cause
feel like
I
last year was like a fluke in a way because you guys kind of got bailed out from all the big teams falling apart at the worst time.
I wouldn't call it a fluke because if you look at our record after we fired Joe Girardi, that is close to a and if he if he was the manager last year for the entire season and that pace were to keep up, he would have won almost 100 games. Phillies will be back. Yeah, I don't doubt that. I don't think it was a fluke. With all the money we spent on that team, they're supposed to be this good. Were they expected to be? No. But were they like good to yeah, they should have been this good too. But when you have that big of a payroll, you're supposed to be that good.
I feel it. I feel it.
So, and to be fair, a lot of the money was Didi Gregorius.
Yeah.
So, but I don't think it was a fluke. We were supposed to be this good, especially when you look at when we had under Thompson. So, I'm not worried about it. The Mets get Jose Quintana. I wish Calvin was here.
I'd love to hear his reaction to that.
Yeah, 2-year, $26 million contract. The Mets CBT payroll is around $298 million. With the Quintana signing, they are now over the Steve Cohen tax threshold. And every dollar they spent gets taxed at 90%. If they stop spending today, their total tax bill would be around $34 million. And according to Jeff Passan, they are not stopping.
Money, money.
You got to respect the richest owner in baseball. I mean,
if only they could have some trophies in the case to back up all this spending. Oh, but they can't because they're not the best team in New York. It's the Yankees, baby.
Talk about the Yankees.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's all we got today on baseball. Want to move over to let's move over to hockey real quick. I want to save football for last, but I want to just quickly cover hockey. Today's show might be a little shorter than usual. I know we usually go over 2:00, guys, but usually over the hour mark. But because I have to be at my work by 3, we're probably going to just keep it an hour show. So I'm going to quickly go over hockey. That being said, the quality is going to be the same.
Shitty as always.
Shitty quality, hell yeah. All right. So over in the NHL, one of the big storylines this past week, and shout out to Kylie who compiled this because I was behind on hockey news this week. By the way, shout out to
Bleacher Report. Shout out Bleacher Report. I swear to God, I got most of that stuff off Bleacher Report.
I just gotta say, Kylie, the fact that you do most of the notes work is awesome. I know I gotta keep up doing it myself. I haven't been able to because of work. So shout out to Kylie for keeping up getting our notes and discussion topics, and she does it all, folks. Also, go follow Kylie's new podcast, the Bell Smashers podcast, with she and who are the other co-hosts?
Haley and Jen. They're awesome. Follow all the podcasts under Fired Up. I mean,
yeah.
Booze Control doesn't have any episodes yet, but they'll be kicking it off soon. P-Lot, obviously Fired Up's podcast. I freaking love them.
They're I mean, all these podcasts are really good quality, and I can confirm, having talked to some of the guys, these are like good people. You're gonna supporting these podcasts is good.
Yeah.
Like I know you should. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Anyway, hockey. So big news coming out of this. The biggest news this week was that Shane Wright, who was supposed to be the first overall pick in the NHL draft, finally got his first career goal, and he scored it against.
Who was it against?
The Habs, the team that was supposed to pick him, but ended up dropping him for reasons. We do have some injury reports. Colorado's going to be without their star Nathan McKinnon for about 4 weeks due to an upper body injury, and Colorado's been having a kind of rough title defense season, so that's going to make things a bit rougher for them. Chris Letang is back on the ice getting some work in just over a week after a stroke. I actually didn't know he had a stroke.
I didn't either.
That's crazy, but he's back in.
Thank God. Glad he's all right.
Yeah, and other injuries. The Red Wings' Tyler Bertuzzi is out 6 weeks after hand surgery. That's going to suck for the Red Wings because they have looked really good this season, really improved from the last couple of years.
Who else has improved over the last couple of years and is doing really
yeah,
good?
It would be the damn Devils. Jack is playing out of his goddamn mind right now. The Devils are still probably the best team in the NHL. It's like it's the late 90s all over again. The Devils and the Avalanche are the best teams in the
Yes.
league,
Give me the late 90s
and the
Devils,
Stars.
please.
Over in news of my team, the Lightning, Steven Stamkos has joined the 1,000-point club.
Who was it
I
against?
love that man. Who was it against?
Flyers.
Oh yeah, it was against the Flyers. I have been able to watch a lot of hockey this year, man. They got dropped from Stream East and it sucks. So my options are limited to just following Bolts Besties on Twitter and seeing their updates. Shout out Bolts Besties. That guy.
Dofu
That guy's
Sports.
on the, what?
Dofu
Do I have to?
Sports. I've told you this.
Do I have to pay money?
No, of course not. It's an app.
Thank God. Thank God. Okay.
You
The
bum.
Golden Knight. So yeah. By the way, the Devils are back to being the number one team in the NHL because the Bruins' home winning streak at 14 games was ended by the Golden Knights winning in a shootout.
Shout out Vegas.
Yeah. What's the streak that Marner has?
A 20-game point streak. 20 games. That beats the Leafs record by a few games so far.
Nice.
I didn't want to bring it up, but I guess I just did. So hopefully I don't jinx it. But yeah, it's looking good. Happy for him. But Devils are still number one. But
What was I going to say? Right, I got distracted for a second. What I was going to
Yeah,
say
me
was
too.
this. We already have our coaching hot seats because we're a good chunk of the way into the season. Bruce Boudreau of the Canucks is rumored to be the first coach to axe this season, which poor old barbecue Bruce got too close to the buffet again, it looks like. Dallas Eakins of the Ducks, Gerard Gallant of the Rangers, and DJ Smith of the Senators are others to watch out for. And that sucks for the Rangers. They went from preseason Stanley Cup favorites to now, like, I have to check the standings, but it's been rough for them. Speaking of those standings,
I love it.
Here is a look currently at the NHL standings. So, in the East, in the Atlantic, Boston is still dominating the Atlantic with a 23-1 record. They're with 41 points. They are just 3 points ahead of Toronto, however. Toronto has closed the gap significantly. That is something to watch out for. Those two teams have kind of separated themselves from the rest of the East. Third place is a tie currently between Detroit and Tampa Bay. Of course, Detroit has injury issue with Tyler Bertuzzi out, so Tampa can pounce. Tampa is holding on to the wild card spot right now, but they would like to be a lot more comfortable. Florida and Montreal with 28 points each are still in the running for the wild card hunt, but they're a bit further back. But then Buffalo is way back at 23, and Ottawa just got over 20 with 21 points. So that division is looking like it's going to be a fight between Boston and Toronto. Maybe one of the wild card teams can make a run at it, but right now, those two teams. In the Metropolitan Division, New Jersey is up 9 points over Carolina for the lead. They are dominating that division with 43 points. They have the most points in the NHL right now. 21-4-1. They are absolutely playing ridiculous hockey right now, and I know you're happy about that, Kylie.
Yeah, I mean, this team is incredible right now. We were expected to maybe hopefully make the playoffs this year, and now it's looking like we're the top team in the NHL with Jack Hughes going stupid, Nico Hischier quietly having a fantastic season.
And don't forget that goalkeeper.
Vanacek is an absolute stud, better than I could have hoped for when we traded him from the Capitals. Shout out DC for just failing miserably in deals with my teams. I hope he wins the Vezina. I don't know. I haven't checked much of the odds or whatever, but I want him to win the Vezina just because bias reasons. Jesper Bratt is having an Aaron Judge type season, saying, screw you for not giving me a good deal. You're going to pay for that. And he's going to make them pay. Because, with the Brat Pack, shout out Brat Pack, with his account just rapidly growing to 13,000 followers so far, and literally creating almost a cult-like following.
What are you talking about? It's not a cult. Jesper Bratt is the best player in the NHL. Jesper Bratt is the best player in the NHL. Jesper Bratt is the best player in the NHL.
Exactly.
What are we talking about? It's not a cult.
Exactly. And every time Bratt has a point or Brat has like a goal, and the Devils post about it, all the comments are Jesper Bratt is the best player in the NHL. Is there a link to your Twitter somewhere in the description? Yeah, if you look at the thing flowing down below, it eventually has our Twitter. Our Twitter, it's BB Sports _ pod. That's our Twitter, and then our Twitters personally are right here. But yeah, so I mean, I've just started getting back into hockey. It's been a while. I absolutely have been enjoying the season. It's been fun.
Yeah.
And
Been a lot of fun.
For biased reasons, of course, but like it's just fun. I've missed hockey. It's always been like one of my favorite sports to watch. But my family, they're all Flyers fans. We live in the DC area, so like going to games for me is not a thing that usually happens. So I've just kind of put it under. It's always been kind of football, basketball, or baseball, and then basketball or baseball, and then hockey that I watch. But right now it's kind of football, hockey, and baseball, and then basketball because the Sixers are ass.
Yeah, it happens. Looking at the rest of the Metropolitans, so New Jersey is dominating. Carolina's holding on to second place with 34 points, but they're just 2 points ahead of Pittsburgh and the Islanders, who are holding on to those third spot and the wild card spot. So it's probably going to be one of those two. The Rangers with 29 points, they've dropped off a bunch. And again, this is the team that I thought was going to represent the East in the playoff. I mean, in the Stanley Cup this year. They've fallen off a ton, and now Gerard Gallant is on the hot seat in terms of coaching. Washington with 26 points is in the midst of a disappointing season, as is Philadelphia, and in Columbus continues a nightmarish season with just 18 points, worst in the East. In the West,
I think the reason the Flyers are having a disappointing season is because they're not the worst team in the NHL right now. They want Bedard.
Yeah. In the West, in the Central Division, we have a tie for first place as Winnipeg and Dallas are tied with 33 points each for that first place. It really looks like it's going to be between these two teams because no one else is really in the same area. Minnesota has made a good charge to get up to third place, and the wild card spot's being held by Colorado, but by just 1 point over Nashville, which is disappointing to see. Colorado has really fallen off after their Stanley Cup victory. It's kind of looking more like it was a one-off for them. St. Louis is struggling, but they're still staying in the fit of the wild card fight, just 3 points behind. But
Speaking
well out
of St. Louis,
What's
sorry,
about St. Louis?
Bennington Goober.
Oh,
I meant to talk about that.
what did he
Bennington
do?
is absolutely a goober. He fought a Penguins player. He like smacked him in the face or so. I forget what it was at this point. But he went viral earlier, like almost a week ago at this point, for something stupid that he did with the Penguins player that got him kicked out.
I was going to give Goober of the week to that one Philadelphia sports guy who was talking smack about Jalen Hurts.
There's so many that do that still.
You know the one I'm talking about, the one that
Oh yeah, we're not giving them a platform.
We're not. I'm just mentioning a group of the week goes to a certain Philly sports person who said some really nasty things about Jalen Hurts, and yeah,
I wouldn't call him a Philly sports fan if you're doing that.
Yeah,
but yeah, we don't claim that guy.
Yeah, gross, disgusting. Bottom of the barrel in the Central Division, by the way, is Arizona and Chicago tied at 18 points. In the Pacific, remember how when we first started this podcast, every time we did my hockey corner, when we got to the Pacific Division, I'd always freak out and scream. Guess what? Vegas leads by just 6 points over Seattle for the lead. Seattle continuing to show incredible improvement this year. Just 1 point behind Seattle are the Kings, and then just 4 points behind the Kings is Edmonton, so it is a fierce fight up front. Calgary is 1 point out of the playoff picture now. Vancouver is 2 points out of the playoff picture. Actually, no, they're 3 points out. San Jose, with how close the West is, there's a chance, but it's not a good one. Anaheim, meanwhile, as the worst team in the league with just 17 points, it's a lost year for them. Looking at the stats,
absolutely.
Looking at the stats real quick before we move on to basketball and get that out of the way so we can talk about football. In terms of points, Connor McDavid still leads the way with 48 points over Leon Draisaitl with 42. And goals, it is young Jason Robertson of Dallas who leads the way with 23 goals. He's taken over Connor McDavid, pretty much come out of nowhere. Plus minus leader is Jonas Siegenthaler of New Jersey with 22. Siegenthaler, sorry. In terms of goaltending, goals against average, it's Linus Ullmark, same with save percentage and wins. Ullmark continues to dominate, but two names that are appearing in most of those stats, Connor Hellebuyck of Winnipeg and Vita Vanacek of New Jersey.
Love Vanacek so much.
Yeah. Let's talk about basketball quickly before we move on to football. We're about halfway through today's show.
Do it. All right, so for the NBA, not too much that we got going on, just some funny things. The most popular, random, but the most popular winning scores this season are 116, which is 19 times has a team won with that score. 114, 18 times. 121, 16. 113, 16 times. And 117, 15 times. The top 5 winning scores so far this season. That's wild.
Fun stuff.
But yes, I did go to the Lakers-Wizards game on Sunday.
And how was that? Tell us about your experience having to watch the Lakers play.
Anthony Davis dropped 55 easy points. Kyle Kuzma was going stupid to try to keep the Wizards in it because the Lakers were blowing a lead. And
that doesn't surprise me.
No, but it was like a 27-point lead. And the Wizards were somehow coming back. It was like down to 9 points. Kuzma was just going stupid, draining threes out of nowhere in mid-range. Like, he was just going off. And he fouled out.
Ooh.
Which I had never seen happen before.
That do be happening.
And I'd never seen a 50-burger before. So it was cool. That was cool. Put some respect on Russell Westbrook's name. He didn't do too well, but he had like 15 assists, which was crazy. He just
What if I don't want to? What if I don't want to put respect on his name?
You must.
I don't wanna.
You have to.
Whatever.
But it was a fun game. It was cool to see LeBron again. He made some great shots. He did his signature dunk. It was cool.
I did see that get posted on social media and thought, damn, Kylie was at that game.
I was at that game. Right?
Lucky.
It was fun. It was cool.
That's good that you got to go. That's good that you got to go. I'm jealous.
Shout out DraftKings. Sponsor us.
I'm jealous of you.
Sponsor us, DraftKings. I love you. Luka dropped a 22-point triple-double to give the Mavs their 3rd straight win. It is his 6th triple-double of the season. So Luka is just Luka. Confirmed.
Nice.
Speaking of confirmed, that Steph Curry full court 5 in a row, not true. That wasn't real. He said he made 2 of them, but he didn't make 5 in a row. Donovan Mitchell dropped 43 on the Lakers and kicked their ass. They have the best home record, best defensive rating, top 10 offensive rating, and top 5 net rating. The Cavs are back. Just in time for LeBron James' free agency.
Imagine he goes back to Cleveland again. Wonder what the reception's going to be.
Oh, they're going to love him. The reporting this on him coming back to Cleveland, they were like, LeBron's returned to Cleveland. He's returned to Cleveland before.
True. I don't know, but I don't know if the third time would work.
A third time? I don't know, especially because it's going to have to be with Bronny James. I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. But I'm just saying, the Cavs are good, and LeBron James is going to be a free agent in like a year or 2.
We shall see.
That's all I'm saying.
We shall see.
LeBron James is going to be the oldest NBA champion.
Of all time.
Yeah. Tim Hardaway Jr. scored a season high 29, became the 10th player in NBA history to make 5+ 3-pointers in 5 straight games. That's damn impressive.
Nice.
That is super impressive. And then Bogdanovich just destroyed Miami. Sorry, Isaac. 31 points,
Okay.
5 assists, 3 steals, 12 for 16 from the field, and 7 for 9 from 3. Pistons killed Miami.
I've grown used to it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
All right, so some quick standings for you. In the East, it's still Boston at 1 because Boston, Milwaukee at 2, Cleveland at 3, Atlanta at 4, Indiana at 5, Brooklyn at 6, Philadelphia at 7 with a 3-game
That
losing streak.
frustrates me that they're still around.
I know, me too. Philadelphia at 7 with a 3-game losing streak. Fire Glenn Rivers. Toronto at 8, New York at 9, and Washington at 10. So, the play-in tournament would be Philly against Toronto. Yes, please. The winner of that game plays Milwaukee for a series. And then New York and Washington would play each other. The winner of that game plays the loser of Philly and Toronto. And then the winner of that game plays Boston. So out of playoffs right now are Miami at 11, Chicago surprisingly at 12, Charlotte at 13, Detroit at 14, and Orlando at 15 with a 9-game losing streak. Wild.
Well.
Yeah. The West just keeps winning, except for Phoenix. They lost their last game. But for the West, it's Phoenix at 1, New Orleans at 2, Memphis at 3, Sacramento at 4, Denver at 5, the Clippers at 6, Dallas at 7, Portland at 8, Utah at 9, and Golden State at 10. So Dallas and Portland would play each other for the 7th seed, and whoever wins that game plays New Orleans. The Jazz and the Warriors would play each other. The winner of that game would play the Mavericks or the Blazers, the loser of that game, and would play Phoenix in a series. Out of playoffs are Minnesota at 11, Oklahoma City at 12, the Lakers at 13, Houston at 14, and San Antonio at 15. So, and they are on an 11-game losing streak. Holy shit.
Yikes.
Damn. That's crazy. I didn't even say that till just now. Oh my god. All right, go to the NFL.
All right. So it's been it's a pretty crazy week in the NFL, but with a lot of injuries.
Yeah,
A lot of players
Von
are out.
Miller. Von Miller just had his ACL surgery, so he's out for the year.
Yeah, he's not the only one. The biggest injury by far, I think, was Jimmy Garoppolo, who broke his foot on the first drive of the 49ers game. He's out for the season, it looks like. So they're turning
No,
to
7 to 8 weeks.
I thought he was out for the season.
No, we thought he was, and then it's not actually a broken foot, so he doesn't need surgery.
All right, 7 to 8 weeks still means he's going to be out for pretty much this season because there's only 5 weeks left of the regular season.
Yeah, we'll see what the playoff structure is like, but
yeah, right now it's wild right now. Anyway, so Garoppolo's injured, which means the Niners are going to have to turn to Brock Purdy, and I don't know if that's
relevant.
Yeah, he's Mr. Relevant, the last pick of the draft. He looks good against the Dolphins, so I don't know. Maybe could happen. In terms of other news, the Bills have taken control of the number 1 seed of the AFC thanks to their big win over the Patriots, plus the Chiefs losing to the Bengals for the 3rd time in this calendar year. Which is, as a Chiefs fan, I just want to beat the Bengals now. I just want to beat the Bengals. I hate it. This in the AFC North, the Steelers are showing signs of improvement slightly. They're getting better. The Ravens are in trouble, though. Lamar Jackson suffered a knee injury, which means he's going to be week to week. And Tyler Huntley, or as he's being called by the media, Hot Rod Huntley, Is he the answer though?
No.
Maybe, probably not.
No.
So like the 49ers, the Ravens, who are leading their division, find themselves in a whole lot of trouble down the stretch. Where's CJ Beathard? I don't think he's CJ Beathard is with the Jags now.
Yeah.
Yeah. CJ Beathard is with the Jags. Aaron Rodgers still owns the Bears,
Yeah, somehow.
fortunately. The Lions offense is improving. The Vikings got to double-digit wins now.
I told y'all the Steelers season starts now.
The Rams,
we'll see.
the Rams have signed Baker Mayfield, who got waived by the Panthers during their bye week, and it might be a good idea because John Wolford is not the answer for the Rams. Their playoff hopes are pretty much over. They are probably going to finish this up being the worst Super Bowl champions of all time, considering what they've done in their Super Bowl defense, which is
The
absolutely
hangover
nothing.
is bad.
It's a bad, bad hangover. And the other LA team isn't helping too because the Chargers are choking away. They lost to the Raiders, so their playoff hopes are also in jeopardy. But yeah, Baker Mayfield goes to the Rams. If you were to tell us that this is where he would end up,
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel about it. It's wild. Calvin's not here, so we're going to skip over the Commies tying the Giants in one of the most embarrassing games of the year. All I'm
Wild.
going to say is just stupid. Divider of the North asks, are they still eligible for the playoffs? The
The
Rams,
Rams, yeah.
technically, but they could get eliminated if they lose again.
Yeah.
Technically speaking, they still are alive, but probably only for one more week.
Mhm.
As for our teams, Eagles got that big win against the Titans. You guys beat Tennessee so thoroughly, I think they fired their general manager.
Yeah. Thanks for winning me $90, Eagles and Titans.
There you go. And meanwhile, my Bucks had their best comeback of the season to beat the Saints. And I want to point
Thank
this
you,
out.
because I want that draft pick. Thank you.
I want to point this out really quick. So I'm celebrating this win over the Saints. We beat the Saints. And as I'm celebrating it, one of the guys in my fantasy football group chat starts telling me off. This dude's getting actually pissed off. He's telling me off in the group chat. He's like, you were favored to win shut up. You were favored to win them. They're a bad team this year. Why are you even complaining? You still are probably going to make the playoffs regardless. And I just looked at him. I was like, you don't understand. You don't understand. At the end of the day, I don't give a shit about winning the Super Bowl or if we're going to be good or bad. If we can beat the Saints, if we can sweep the Saints, I will take that over a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I don't know. If you don't understand
It's like the Eagles and the Cowboys.
the hatred that I have for the Saints transcends. I don't care what their record is. I don't care if they're a competitive team. I don't care if we're even favored to win. At the end of the day, we have to beat the Saints. That is the thing. And if somebody can't understand that, then you probably are in the wrong line of business. As an NFL fan, rivalries that deep cut through everything else.
Yep.
So I just
Eagles
want
and
to say this
Cowboys
out.
is deep.
Yeah, I just want to say this. It's like, do not question people celebrating their team winning a meaningless rivalry game. Because are the Saints playoff contenders? No. Was it a crucial win for the Bucks in the playoff hunt? Yeah, but only for one side. But don't question the fans getting excited about it. Don't question it. Because at the end of the day, beating your rival is better than any Super Bowl trophy. And I will.
Could Baker save the Rams?
No, the Rams are
Yeah,
gone.
I
Rams
lost
are
my faith in Baker.
Baker is cooked, and the Rams are just frauds.
I love Baker. I'm sorry. I hope you do well in Los Angeles, but he's wearing 17. He's wearing 17.
Maybe a new number will be a new fresh start for him.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'd like to see them
It says-
improve, but it's going to be next year because they're not
Yeah.
good.
Bucks are still fire. Yeah, I've grown to not doubt Tom Brady. So we'll see.
I doubted him a little bit, but we got that win. Looking
Yeah.
at the playoff picture right now, Buffalo is the number 1 seed in the AFC. Well, they are now. The wild card games right now would be Jets at Chiefs, Dolphins at Ravens, Bengals at Titans. Some solid games there. Patriots and Chargers are still deep in the hunt, as are the Raiders, Browns, Steelers. But for the Raiders, Browns, and Steelers, their chances are a bit more complicated. By the way, the Browns, what's his face came back. The Predator came back, and yep. The Predator came back and was terrible, and the Browns defense had to bail them out. So expected.
Pretty much.
Indianapolis and Jacksonville are still in the hunt as well, but their chances are pretty
What
much
the
over.
hell, Indy?
I don't know. I think Indy should be automatically disqualified after giving up 33 points in a quarter.
Yeah. How, like, it was 21-19
At the start of the fourth.
when I went to bed.
I watched that game. I couldn't believe what was happening. My brother's calling me. It's like, I'm making money.
Yeah, I was like, okay, it's 21-19. The Cowboys are still probably going to win, but it's going to be a close game, so the Cowboys can't talk shit. And then I woke up the next morning and it was 54-19. And I was so confused.
Yeah. Makes no sense. Cowboys are the anti-Falcons, pretty much. Um, as for the other teams in the AFC, yeah, Colts, Jags still have a chance, but their chances are pretty much dead. Broncos are all but eliminated, and our first official elimination for the postseason is the Houston Texans. Fare thee well, Houston. We knew you were going to be shit, and you did not disappoint us.
Bears are out too.
I'll get to that in a sec. In the NFC, Eagles still have the number one seed. Wild card rounds would be Seahawks at Vikings, Giants at 49ers, Cowboys at Buccaneers. Commanders are still in the hunt, as are the Lions. Falcons, Packers, Cardinals, Panthers all have an outside chance, but they're going to need a lot of help. Saints and Rams are all but eliminated, and the Chicago Bears are our first official elimination in the NFC. I just feel bad for Chicago, man. All the improvement we see from Justin Fields, and yet they still lose 10 games.
Mm-hmm.
It's just disappointing.
Yeah, it definitely is. Especially because we had Tim Sinclair on, so we've become Bears supporters. But
Yeah. Well, yeah, we have. So I feel bad for that. But anyway, time to make our picks for week 14. It's going to be a short week because about a quarter of the league is on bye. Last week was an ass kicking. Last week would see me take the victory at 12-3 in my picks over Kylie 11-4. Calvin went 8-7, so I move up firmly in the lead on the leaderboard of our weeks with 6 overall victories. In terms of the overall actual standings, I lead the way 121-74. Kylie, you are in second. You've moved up to second, 113 wins, 82 losses. Calvin is third, 110 wins, 84 losses. And then there's Eric, 0-1. I'm still counting his.
you have to. It's funny.
Yeah. So, with that being said, week 14, it's a short week, as I said before. Quarter of the league is on bye, and we still have some interesting games, a lot of rivalry games. So, we're going to start things off with the Raiders taking on the Rams on Sunday night as Baker makes his Los Angeles debut. I'm going to take the Raiders to win this one. Who you got, Kylie?
Raiders, easy.
They've looked hot recently. Jets and Bills, big game in the AFC East. Jets had the tiebreaker on the Bills, so this could be crucial for determining who wins the division. I'm taking Buffalo to win the rematch. Who you got?
Buffalo as well.
Next, we got the Browns and the Bengals. Bengals are going to need a win here to keep pace with the Ravens. They can smell blood in the water. They have a chance to pounce in the battle for Ohio. I'm going to take Cincinnati.
Me too.
Next up, we've got the Texans taking on the Cowboys in the Battle of Texas.
I really want the Texans to just win, but easily it's going to be the Cowboys.
Dallas. After what Dallas did yesterday, I think Dallas is now a legit threat to the Eagles in the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
They're frightening. Vikings Lions NFC North battle. This could be a crucial game for both these teams. The Vikings keeping pace with the Eagles. The Lions trying to make the playoffs. I think Detroit's going to pull the upset. I'm going to take Detroit to win.
Damn it! I was going to pick Detroit too.
Yeah, we both got Detroit. It's fine. Jags and Titans. We don't have to pick this game, but we do. I'm going to take the Titans to win, even though this is probably going to be one of those ugly games nobody likes. What do you
I'm
think?
picking
Kylie?
Jags.
Fair enough. Tennessee is spiraling a little bit. Eagles, Giants. Huge game in the NFC East. For the Giants, this is a crucial game because their season's been falling apart. And for the Eagles, I mean, you have a chance to clinch a playoff berth. Who you got, Kylie?
Birds.
Go Birds. I'm going to be the same. Ravens and Steelers, the old classic best rivalry in the NFL. This time with a lot of stakes because the Ravens may be without Lamar Jackson. I'm going to take Pittsburgh as the result.
Ravens are going to murder the Steelers.
Right. That's the first. Okay. I see. Chiefs Broncos. This was supposed to be on Sunday Night Football, but got flexed, thankfully, because the world realized we don't need to see the Broncos on broadside. I'm taking KC to win this one easily. Who you got, Kylie?
KC, easily. By the first quarter, it's going to be done.
Should knock out Denver out of the playoffs by the look of things.
Yeah.
Buccaneers, 49ers, big game, two division leaders taking each other on. One team without their starting quarterback, the other team trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. I'm taking the Bucks to win this one. Who you got?
Bucks.
Yeah, don't doubt.
I can't doubt Tom.
Panthers and Seahawks. Kind of a
easy.
throwaway game. Yeah, Seattle keeping pace in the wild card hunt for the NFC. Dolphins and Chargers on Sunday Night Football. Crucial game for both teams. Dolphins trying to keep pace with the Bills in the AFC East. Chargers just trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. I've got Miami winning. Who you got?
Miami, easy.
Final game, Monday Night Football. Patriots taking on the Cardinals. This is a big game for the Patriots. They got to keep their playoff hopes alive with the win. Cardinals just trying to finish off their season on a high note. I'm taking the Patriots to win. Who you got?
Cardinals.
All right, there we go. All right. We don't have Calvin's picks, but we'll get them eventually. But that's going to be our picks for week 14. It's a short week. It feels weird.
It does feel weird.
Yeah.
Want to send us off?
Well, with that being said, thank you guys for watching the kind of sped up version of the Beer Batter Sports Podcast. Again, normally we would have stretched things out a bit longer and gone over an hour like we usually do, but I do have work to get to like almost immediately after the show ends, so we had to slow things down. But that being said, we still put on, I'd say we put on a pretty good show. Thank you guys so much for following, and thank you as always to Fired Up Sports for having us as part of their network. Make it rock. If you guys want to get some of our cool threads and merch, you can head over to the link in our Twitter bio for merch. This is, what was I going to say next? Man, I need to get better at these outros. Outros. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram at BBS Sports _pod, and you can interact with us live on Facebook and Twitter or YouTube, whatever your heart's desire is. With that being said, I'm Isaac.
And I'm Kylie.
And we're signing off. See you guys next week. Peace.